Good evening and welcome to Short Film Cinema. I am your host, David Peters. Today we'll be talking about short films. After watching both films, I was pretty intrigued and wanted to know more details about what inspired them to produce their short films. We'll be able to take a closer look at their film and have an open discussion about them. So I do got two special guests today. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce the first one. Please welcome my first guest today, Amy Schneider. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, it's great to have you. So I watched your film, and I just have a few questions for our audience, kind of help us understand about short films and your film, of course, and all. So I want to just dig into your head a little bit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a moment to watch your short film here, and then we'll get into all the meat and potatoes, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, so let's go ahead and watch the film.
I feel out of place in every way, shape, and form. I feel unwanted, broken. No one can hold me together anymore.
I don't belong. If you hear my voice, no, not this one.
This one. The one in my head, 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 in my head. If you could feel how I feel, how it hurts to be me when I feel like I just don't belong in me. Maybe then you'd understand, but I don't even understand. So what do? I wake up every morning as this boy who doesn't belong and nobody even knows, and I play video games like a boy. I brush my teeth like a boy. I work out with the boys. God knows I dress like a boy. Then I get in my bed and be a boy. A boy with a mask that feels like he doesn't belong. A boy who feels trapped.
So I write songs using the voice in my head. The only thing that feels like me.
And I just keep writing music. I don't want to be me.
All right, well, what a great film. And of course, you saw that it was named Trapped. So before we begin, I just want to ask you some questions, okay, before we even get into the film. So kind of help me understand what makes you wake up out of bed, out of the clear blue, and just say, you know what, I think I'm going to produce a short film today, and let's just go ahead and do this. Help us understand what is running through your head.
Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, as somebody who is interested in film and the entire production field, we always have ideas running through your head. You always have something where you're like, wow, that would be a really cool shot, or man, I can imagine this scene happening. And the way it kind of works for me is I'll have these ideas all throughout the day for like many times a week, and then suddenly it'll be time for me to produce a short film. Like for this one specifically, I had an assignment due. And while I have ideas running through my head, this was the idea that kind of popped into my mind that I was like, this'll work. I actually started with the idea of a boy just kind of feeling like he didn't really belong anywhere, and went with it.
How did you come up with the title?
I actually, I'm not quite sure. It was just one of those things where the idea was that a boy just kind of felt like he didn't really belong. And I kind of touched on this a little bit.
Yeah.
He didn't really feel like he belonged, which is something I actually feel like a lot of people struggle with that nobody really talks about, especially in that high school, college age, where you just kind of feel like you're there. You don't really feel much else. And I kind of just took that idea and used the word trapped to sum it up all in one word. We're almost as if you're trapped in your own body.
Okay, so that I was trying to figure out when I was watching this, like,
Yeah.
man, what is this film about? Or
Yeah, so I actually kind of let that up for the audience to decide, because this could go two ways depending on which way the audience perceives it. Either it can be exactly that, a boy just kind of feels like he shouldn't be a boy, or it could more so just be, despite how the voiceover sounds. So, fun fact, that's my little brother, the main actor of the film. And then my voice is used for all the voiceovers. And the idea was I wasn't necessarily going that way where he didn't really feel like he should have been a boy. but that is kind of the way the film kind of came out, and the direction I was trying to go was more so just getting that idea of feeling like you don't belong, but it's so upsetting because when you feel like you don't belong in your own body, it's a totally different world of living. But something that I feel like should be talked about more, that feeling of just not really wanting, or maybe not necessarily wanting, but not really feeling like you belong somewhere.
A great film, Amy. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this is not just going to be a hobby. I hope you do make more films. So appreciate you being in. Coming up next will be Kat with her film. This will be after a short message. We got to pay the bills.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how the dog was looking at me?
Welcome back, and on to our next guest. Please welcome Kat D.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show, Kat. All right, so let's get started with your film, and this one is called Ladies' Night.
Yes.
All right, great. So I have a few questions for you. I was just thinking about when I watched the film. You know, it intrigued me, and I was like, man, I would really want to do this interview. Kind of dig into her head a little bit. But one thing that really stood out to me, I said, what would just make her wake up in the morning and say, man, I just really want to make this short, crazy film?
Well, thankfully, my ideas came to light because it was actually for an assignment here at school.
Good thing them professors always giving out assignments, right? All right. So with that said, your film called Ladies' Night, what inspired you to pick out this name, and kind of tell us a little bit about what goes into making this short film?
Ladies' Night was inspired by, the ladies having a night out and doing what ladies do best. They have fun on their night out. So that's kind of what inspired the name. As far as the production-wise and all of that, the inspiration to film at Skateland was kind of just because, it looks very retro-y. The colors are all there. I love that scheme of colorway. So that's kind of...
And how did you film this? Like, it looked great. It really did look great. Did you have like a full-fledged camera crew there, and
I wish I had
the camera moving on wheels and all that stuff?
That would have been awesome. That would have been amazing to have. But unfortunately, no, I was just using my iPhone.
The iPhone?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to get me one of those because it looks clear. So that way, before I get into the questions and stuff, let's go ahead and film. Watch the film, so that way the audience kind of see what I'm talking about, and then we'll come back and
all right,
we'll
let's get into it.
So let's go ahead and watch it.
Friday nights with my girls are always the best. We love getting together, having fun, and roller skating. You can say it's kind of like a ritual. Everything about the rollercade is a vibe. The lights, ambience, and the music. When you're here, you feel alive. It's great exercise, it's affordable, and it's for everyone. Occasionally, you'll get the random creeps eyeing you down from across the room, but we learn to ignore them. Besides, why let them ruin a great night?
Kat. Great film. So, kind of sure the audience is like, wow. Like I said, it left me wanting more. And what was the thought behind this? So it looks like you got 3 girls out. I'm going to try to guess, and then you got some creep watching them. Kind of looks like they plotted to get this guy, like if that's an everyday thing that they do. And then they sacrificed him. You tell me if I'm on your same boat.
In my mind, originally, those girls are there to do justice of karma and, just when someone thinks that they're being slick, they're being 10 times slicker.
Okay, so you said karma. So is this based off true events? Are you trying to tell us something here?
No, it's not based off true events, although I wouldn't be mad if it was.
All right, so we're going to throw out the court system and it's going to be an eye for an eye.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so speaking of that, there's a part in the film where I see the 3 girls are together at a table. The guy's just kind of like watching them, playing out. They could see, him watching them. At that moment, you tell me what are they doing when they keep turning around talking and looking at them?
They could be there plotting things. They could just be like, oh, why is this creep looking at us? But it could all just be a show for the creep, He wasn't expecting them to be there, and they were expecting him to be there.
Okay, so yeah, I took out of it that they were plotting to get this guy. I mean, it's like they go. I mean, I know you say like it's kind of up to our thinking, and it really does make you think. That's what I really loved about the film. What's in the future for Kat? You plan on making some more of these, or?
I mean, I love making short films. I love the behind the scenes type of thing that goes into filmmaking. And if the opportunity was given to me, I would love to make more short films and continue that. But as for career, I don't really know if that's what's my calling is, essentially. Like I said, it's something that I would love to go into, but I think in the future, if it happens, it happens. I can't really predict it.
Well, great assignment, Kat. Great film. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having
today.
me.
I really do appreciate it. So that's our time. Thank you, audience, for joining us on Short Film Cinema. I am your host, David Peters. Good night.